HBO just resurrected the Green Lantern franchise, and now we have questions about Hal Jordan's status. Did Lanterns just pull off TV's biggest fake out of the year? Let's get into it. Welcome into another edition of Popcorn and Root Beer. My name is Steve. I am your host, and joining me today are two people who need no introduction, but it's my job to introduce them. That is the Hart Foundation, Alyssa and Brian Hartman. How are you guys?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Glowing, some might say.
Some might. Some might, but should some, is the question.
Yeah, probably not. No, I just stole that from Alyssa. It was a great entrance that she allowed me to transition with.
I haven't done that in years. That's such a 2020 thing, is to accidentally talk on mute. I am embarrassed.
It happens to the best of us when you do enough of these. All right. Lanterns. Episode 1 drops. Kind of meaty, right? Like, these are like hour-plus long episodes. They're not shy about it.
No.
DC doesn't have a long track record of shows, but they have a good track record with Peacekeeper, and now it seems Lanterns.
And the Penguin.
So, before we even get any further, let's pause right here and let you know, spoiler alert. Spoilers ahead for episode 1 of Lanterns. Also, like, subscribe, and share. There. Now we can get into it. All right. We deal with 3 timelines. We're in 1996, 2016, and 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see that coming. Didn't see the multiple timeline, not timelines, but like moments in time kind of thing happening. And let's just get right into the biggest moment of the episode. We come across John walks up the stairs at the football stadium that he had been at 10 years prior to find Hal dead with a bullet hole in his head, and his ring is gone.
We're jumping straight in. We're
going right into it.
That we see.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that.
But it really sets the scene for, I don't know, you're episode 1, you're not emotionally attached to the characters yet. I do appreciate the fact that they kept it with the 6s, like 96, 06, 16, and just a little bit easier to memorize. Like, okay, we're a decade at a time. But I feel like this sets the bookends for the timeline that we are going to see, because there's only one season, right? Is this meant to be longer than one season?
I haven't seen anything announced, whether it's a fully committed, limited. Yeah. I'm sure if it does well, they're going to do more.
Okay, so we know that we've got them for 8 episodes.
That's what we got so far. Yeah, it looks like about, I think that's the series order is 8 episodes. So we come up, and it's winter in this. I also liked this as well, that 1996, it seems to be like sort of springish. 16 is very summer, very warm. They're outside, they're doing their thing. And then 26 is frigid winter.
Yeah.
I like when shows do that. I think Cruel Summer did something similar in season 2 with that it just gave a distinct time that if you just happen to blink and miss what year you're in, the season will kind of give you that idea. So
Yellow
when it's like
Jackets
frigid,
is really good about that too.
Yeah, like I think that's a really smart thing that they do. So we have Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler as our 2 stars. Aaron Pierre plays John. Kyle Chandler plays Hal. Hal is the Green Lantern right now.
Yep.
For Earth.
And casting with Kyle Chandler too. I thoroughly enjoyed him. I enjoy him in most things, but I loved him in this. The smart ass, the cocky, just the vibe was there. Absolutely hit it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great. I mean, I try not to rage against casting too often. I mean, we're seeing it kind of on the internet right now with Indy Navarrete becoming Rogue in the X-Men. I don't get it, but it's happening. I thought Kyle Chandler is always great. I think Aaron Pierre is obviously great as well. And I was really happy to see, I do not remember his name off the top of my head, but the father there at the house, that the sheriff's father-in-law who she's like, you don't want to owe him. I only recognize he's
Oh,
a that guy for me. I recognize him
Garrett
from Brooklyn
Dillahunt.
Nine-Nine. Yeah, I recognize him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He
No Country
plays
for Old Men for me.
yeah, he plays Detective
Mhm.
Dave Majors in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I really appreciate that I got to see someone like that. All right. So Hal, played by Kyle Chandler, and I'm not going to keep doing that, but I'm just going to do it early into this episode so that people know who we're talking about. So Hal is mentoring John, who's played by Aaron Pierre,
Right.
to be the next Green Lantern. It seems against his will.
Is it?
It seems it's against Hal's will. Hal doesn't seem
Oh,
like he's
okay.
into this
Okay.
idea.
I thought you meant against
John,
John. Yeah.
we open with that scene of him as like a child and his dad like shooting the apple off his head, which I was like, what the fuck was that?
That was intense.
I
Yeah,
had
that was
no idea where
intense.
that scene was going. We had so many different avenues we could have gone through, like within that segment from the TV there. Absolutely wild.
Like, so it bookends the episode though, right? That it essentially starts with him shooting this apple off his son's head, and then
Mhm.
Hal is found dead with a bullet hole in his
Eesh.
forehead.
I didn't make that connection, but wow. Yeah.
Like, is that a connection that needs to be made though? Is that something we need to look at and be like, is there a connection there? Is there something there? What's
I don't
going on?
know. Something that stood out to me, I kind of rewatched just lightly a couple scenes before jumping on. And the
Yeah.
second time around, watching when he calls his dad, when he
Yep.
gets launched off the edge, and his dad's like, basically, if you want this job, you need to stick it out. That gave me a different insight, or I guess maybe just time to slow down and be like, okay, his dad coming in when he was younger and asking him, are you afraid? Military wise, dad must have been working with the sector that's working with the lanterns.
Yeah,
Is
probably,
plural, or is it
right?
just him? Because it seems like he raised his kid to be able to take this on. So I'm excited to see the character development with that, because I checked and his dad is in all 8 episodes. So I'm just wondering, like, is he going to become more of a piece within that? And I just feel
Yeah,
like he's gonna be a bigger piece than just a side character as far as milestones and all the, 4 decades or
right.
3 decades coming together.
Yeah. So, Brian, when you watched that opening scene, like, did you feel like, what did you kind of get out of that? Like, because he's like, are you scared? Were you scared? Was what he asked. And the kid's like, no. And that is what the previous Green Lantern apparently asked Hal. What are we
Yeah, like
seeing
that was
here? Like,
the
what's,
one question he had to ask. Well, like it opens up and like I wasn't sure if it was the dad walking in. Clearly, we know that like he lost his mom because we get that quote from Hal there in the interview, like once you lose a parent, you're fearless because you can't lose anything else, kind of a
Mm,
thing. So that I ultimately thought that this was some sort of foster situation at first, like maybe they
okay.
lost both parents, and then it came in, then we're like, all right, this is the dad. But then it's a drastic switch to all of a sudden, like, all right, this isn't the worst case scenario. They're not going to get yelled at for having the TV on. This is like, oh God, what kind of situation? And then we get to the gun thing, and like, what the hell are you teaching them? I guess to be fearless, but like, that's not fearless. That's hope. There's more than just one variable in this whole situation of getting an apple shot off your damn head.
Yeah, I didn't totally. It was such an incongruent scene, right? Because they're like, get the TV off, get the TV off, get the TV off. You're going to get us in trouble. Dad comes home, is like, what's the Green Lantern's name? He's like, Hal. I don't know why you wanted to know that. He's like, Hal something. I don't know. And he's like, all right, come out back. And he's all stern and like, then the app of the gun. And then he's like, oh, great job, buddy. Like, and then he's like, all like buddy with. And I'm like, what on earth is going on here? Like,
It
with
made
this
you feel like
guy.
it made you
yeah.
feel like they were supposed to watch it, like as if he was quizzing him. Like,
Right.
what was his name? You just watched.
Like,
the
I
show, you just
baited
learned his
you.
name.
I know that you're not going to. What kid is going to turn down seeing like the first interview with the superhero, right? Like, obviously they're going to. But now that we're talking about this, his 2 brothers, what we saw of them, they were scared. So now I'm wondering, like, what is it about specifically John are all of those shots in the shed from all the boys having to go out there, or is it just John that got this kind of
And like,
parenting?
That was
so like,
my
is his
thing.
dad like? That's the thing is like, does his dad know that like the Green Lantern needs to pass on to someone? And like, is he doing this what appears to be 30 years in advance?
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
Like, it's so strange. It's so strange. And then, so we get past that. Hal puts the ring on the dashboard, jumps out of the car, and sends the car off a cliff with John in it. And it's basically like, live or die, right? Like, the ring will either save you or you'll die, and we'll see what happens. Good luck. I'll see you at the taco stand. And
I
then we get
love that
the
he thought of bubble wrap. Because I
yes,
imagine, like, you just have to have a thought of, like, what you wanna do with your powers for
yeah,
protection in that moment, so being quick on your feet, and that was the first thing that came to him that I like that.
yeah. I liked that. I thought that was great. And then he gets there's hail in Nebraska or whatever the
Nebraska,
Christ.
yeah.
Yeah, like he gets told and he flies off, and we find out that uh he thinks it's aliens. And then I thought this was actually the coolest part of the episode was the breakdown of why he's positive it's aliens, and it was that whole walkthrough of what had happened there.
Mhm.
So this show has been compared by critics. They have said it's a very much like True Detective,
Yeah.
which I think is
Mhm.
very cool. So I'm very excited about that. I loved that breakdown. I thought that was really cool. So we get that, and then we meet Waylon, who they arrest, and Hal is certain is an alien. Waylon then reveals during an interrogation after a fairly comical scene where Hal's like, well, they won't let me interview him in person. I'm going to go to jail with them, and then gets beat up by a bunch of locals, which, if you're a local, right, and you know this guy's the Green Lantern, I'm sure they know. He's been on national TV and said it.
Well, they
I don't
called
know
him
if I'm
by
picking that
name.
fight.
Yeah, I don't know why you would instigate that fight despite you being pissed. Because I loved what he did. Literally done the exact same thing. Not looking to get in a fight, but I've gone over and take over a jukebox before. I've played songs I know no one else is gonna like Christmas music in July.
I mean, yeah, because he put the same one like on. He like basically locked the jukebox up for
Mhm.
however long. Which, do people care that much about the jukebox?
Locals in their bars, they're particular.
Like I haven't even seen a jukebox in a gazillion years. You know what I mean? I don't really know too
Canton,
many places. So
Ohio,
maybe,
Georgia, stick
maybe,
out
maybe
west.
in maybe in like yeah, middle America,
Like,
maybe
small
jukebox is
town.
still yeah,
Hmm.
maybe that's still a big
Yeah.
thing in the middle of the country. So Waylon then breaks down. He's like, I have a bomb in me. My skeleton
Mhm.
will erupt and I'll just combust, and you have to decide is it going to blow up the town or not. Which I thought that was going to be a longer wait to get an answer.
Yeah, that was
We
quick.
get it 45 seconds later,
Mhm.
and it's bad enough that he blows out the side of a building, but that's about it. Um,
That I really appreciated that scene because 'cause I'm a crime junkie, so, like, the interrogation, loved it, but the way that he showed you, this is not a human. This is someone who has memorized facts, right? Like, when he's
yes.
talking about Obama, was it right? There's controversy with his birth certificate.
Yeah.
Okay, someone from Nebraska, like, he's presenting as, like, a redneck from that area, right? You're gonna have more to say than just that. So I liked that a little bit.
Yeah.
It
I
also
thought
feels like nowadays when you get an email and you're like, "Oh, this is Chat GPT." Like a human
yes.
did not write this,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
you could tell. You could
Mhm.
tell when it's an AI thing, or like when someone has like it's we've all met people that they pretend to be like an expert in some field, or they like to people to think that they know more, and then they really do memorize like the most basic of facts just enough
Mhm.
to get through. Or we've had to do it ourselves where it's like, all right, I'll memorize like three things to get through whatever conversation I'm about to have. Um, that was fun to watch him break that down. My question is, and like this is obviously like the big question of like the season, it feels like number one, like who killed Hal? Number two, he never John never becomes the Green Lantern.
He's about to.
Uh, or yeah, I don't know. Do we see a ring on him at the end?
I don't see
No,
a ring, and he
he's looking
drives
for
there.
it. Yeah, that's what tells me he doesn't have it yet. He drove there.
Yeah.
But like
So,
Oh,
he
duh.
looked for it there at the
but
last second.
after 10 years of training this guy, Hal's still like, no. Like, so why? What happens?
Well, the
Why
only way
is it
out is
like that?
death. I don't think he has a choice to pass it on, right?
I
Right.
don't know.
It seems like it's a like you can borrow the ring during training for training sessions, but like you don't get to have it.
Yeah,
It
it's still got
primarily
training wheels on.
stays with Hal.
Or whoever now has it, right? Like, I don't. Is it like the Elder Wand? Like, I mean, like if you kill the
Right? Do you just
Green
get
Lantern, do you become the new
powers?
Green Lantern?
I'm
Like,
not a DC lore guy. Yeah, I'm not sure.
well, that was a Harry Potter question, but
Well, I just mean for the actual answer for
oh yeah, no,
this.
like I don't know, and it doesn't seem like this one's playing super. I don't know what the rules of it are.
Right.
So, and then William McCon,
Macon.
Macon.
Macon, that's his name. Who he has a secret militia and has some benefactor that like
Were we all feeling
whatever
like
that means.
we were about like 2 yeehaws away from the hoods getting popped on? Like, this is like, we had several stabs at Middle America here throughout this episode.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot to say about Middle America. I feel like sometimes, and like you kind of have to. It feels like
They
because
got
we're
their
with
stereotypes,
Hal.
I guess is all I'm
I
saying.
feel like Hal is just very like, what's the like flippant about stuff where he's like,
Mhm.
bunch of hillbillies in their cornfields and all they know is Nebraska football and
Yeah.
corn. You know what I mean? And he
Yeah, but
seems very dismissive.
there's a vibe though. Like when you're in small town or like I've lived there, there's a vibe. We own our shit. And it's very protective, like coming into that territory, which you can
Yeah.
see at that first scene at the football stadium. Like obviously they are used to there being interference and like setting the tone with their jurisdiction. I I kind of think I don't like that family. We didn't talk about the fact that Zoe and John immediately after meeting each other are doing it in the truck. Was not
Yep.
expecting that scene. And so how is that going to play out as well? Because William obviously knows. He made that comment at the end about eating meat off
Eating
another
off a
man's
man's
grill.
Mhm.
I was like,
Did
oh,
Zoe like tell him?
that's
Either
why I'm
that or
like,
he's got
what
people
is
that
that
watch
another
him.
string attached? Like we're gonna try to puppet you. I don't
I
trust
literally
them.
just watched this episode and I feel like I need to go rewatch this episode because I'm like, there's so many questions that I have that I'm like, I just need to watch it again. And I watched it
Yeah.
a few times today and I'm just like, ugh.
I didn't pick
Trust.
up on that part. Brian pointed that out. And I was like, oh, that's
Well, because the vegan thing seems weird too. It's been tossed out at least twice in this first episode. So, like, those are just things I grasp onto. Like, all right, is that just we're building the character, or is that something that's going to come in reference later on, kind of a thing?
What, that he doesn't eat meat, he doesn't drink, he doesn't like have any vices, like he's basically like
Not any. He went outside of a bar.
I
and,
guess yeah.
knocking boots.
Yeah.
There, which I appreciate.
Who
It shows
does
he's
that?
not completely straight edge there. He does
I
have a bit.
I
of,
appreciate that he's not like a fucking altar boy.
yes.
But at the same, that is my least favorite thing sometimes that movies do is like it's so wildly irresponsible that you would never do it. And
Mhm.
yet they did it. And it's like, what?
How does that
He's
work?
working. Like you just got to this town. There's 15 people in the whole town, and that's your movie. Like the odds were stacked against you that like this was at best someone's sister that you were gonna like fuck, and then at worst someone's wife. And now, even worse than that, it seems like it's a very powerful person's wife.
But the cherry on top, though, is Hal's response. Dude, we've been here 24 hours. Nice. Like, I love that he welcomes the chaos into whatever. Like, Hal, he has no fear. He has no fear of how much things can unravel.
Yeah. No, he's very
But
arrogant.
he's reckless in that way.
It's an arrogance with a suaveness to it. Like, there is a way that you don't hate him for being arrogant. Like there's characters that are arrogant. It's like you just don't like them. I can't find a reason to not like him right now.
No, I like him. He's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Here's because we like to keep these tight. I want to get to the big question I have for you here, and it's the one that I wrote down. Prediction time.
Ooh.
Is Hal actually dead?
No.
Yes.
You say
I
yes,
think someone's an undercover alien. I'm not sure who, but I think we've already met them.
Okay. I like that. Who would it be if you had to bet?
I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking that someone imitating Hal,
Okay.
possibly, or the Macon family. There's something sus about them. You want to be in power? Why? Because you really want to protect the aliens, or because you want to be the mob boss and control the land so that the aliens can come?
We
Right.
still have a handful of characters still that we haven't met yet. You
Oh,
know,
of course.
not to spoil too much, but I'm looking at least 2 people that are 7 episodes
Oh,
on IMDb. And not to spoil anything too much, but everybody says 8 episodes except for Aaron Pierre, the John Stewart. He has 9 episodes. He is in there for 2-1,
I
which is
know.
interesting.
Okay, I noticed the 9 episodes, but then I couldn't find like where's the ninth one.
Yeah, it's 1 through 8 in season 1,
Hmm.
and then 2-1. It's got him locked in there for that. So
So maybe they've
IMDb,
already greenlit season
take it for
2.
what it is. I haven't seen anything
Greenlit.
officially for greenlit, but I get maybe there's just plans on a second one. I don't know.
I think Sheriff Kane is going to be a bigger part of this going
I
forward
hope
too
so.
than like she's great.
I
She's
liked
great.
her
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's
Also,
fantastic.
her being married to the Macon son.
because she
Yeah.
hates the family. By
Right, why'd
what
she
we're
do that?
seeing. But like,
Unless she's an alien undercover and needs to get in there.
in how much different is her son than the family? Like, is there beef within that, or
You mean
is
her
he?
husband?
Yeah, her husband. Like, how similar to
I don't
his
think he's
family is
doing
he?
like great things if he's like, "Oh, my dad just wants to have dinner. He'll bail you out and get you into this debt that you now owe him."
Yeah, especially when she knows you don't want to get underneath his thumb.
Unless he's like Fredo from The Godfather and he's actually like a moron, right?
That's
Like
what
I
I
don't
wondered
know.
too. But like, she doesn't seem like the type that would
And he
start
doesn't
having
seem
some
like a
schlub,
moron. He's not like bumbling and like falling over himself. He was like
No,
a
he
good
seemed
lawyer. He
pretty
stepped in.
fine.
He had it. He had it. Yeah, he had it on lock.
I don't know. Maybe it's
I'm
like
excited.
I am too. I was pumped, absolutely pumped coming out of this because, like, I mean, I
Yeah.
brought it up at the beginning. The Penguin one was one of my favorite shows that I've seen. Like, I'm really drawn to the DC shows and the Marvel movies. I can't swap the two. I haven't really seen all the DC movies.
I
or the
am
Marvel
very
shows.
excited for Vision Quest coming up out of Marvel. That's going to be very fun of a show. We will be covering it here on Popcorn and Root Beer. We will be covering a lot of shows coming up here. Some you guys will be joining me on. Jake Perry joins me on our Ted Lasso recap that comes out on Thursdays, along with our last Lucky breakdown that comes out Thursday. I almost want to do that one live Wednesday night, but I'm like, I don't know. Best not to change at this point, but it would be fun just because I'm like very excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
And of course, every Monday you will find us doing lanterns. It'll come out. This will come out today probably. So Mondays or Tuesdays will be Lanterns Day, which is great. So we're kind of coming at you with a lot of stuff here all the
Yeah.
time, and there's more on the horizon. We have like a whole list of shows that we're going to be breaking down and watching. And again, please like and subscribe if you've joined us for this long, and make sure you comment below and let us know your theories on all things lanterns. I am so excited to be breaking this down with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Do we have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Anybody who's got lantern lore, DC lore, hit us with it. Help us fill in some of these gaps that we're not quite
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be
How does this
great.
ring work?
That would be great. Lord of the Rings has nothing on the Green Lantern's ring.
No, it's a cigarette lighter. Are you kidding me? Come on now.
Yeah. Like, what a way to use that. Like, unbelievable. I'd be like, you know what? Like, whoever, like,
That's
the
a
head of the
smooth
Green...
move.
Is it? Or is it the...
$20
If I was the
bill
person
is
who's like, I choose the Green Lantern next, I'd be like, he's disqualified. Find someone else. Like, you can't be using it as a cigarette lighter. It's like this uber powerful thing. And you're like, look at this little parlor trick I can do. Like,
I mean, it's old school now. Everyone vapes. Like the amount of people that still smoke cigarettes is so I think that's a
the amount
smooth
of people
move.
that even know what a cigarette lighter is. You know, or
Oh,
you know,
like
I
in a
guess
car.
I was thinking.
I don't know. I was out at the when I was out at the expo, like people were ripping cigs like crazy. It was like, I was like, Jesus, so many people smoke. What the fuck? Thought we did away with cigarettes. Well, anyway, that's another topic for another show, I suppose. Thank you so much for being here again. Please, please, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything, and comment below. Let us know your thoughts. And until next time, for Alyssa and Brian Hartman, my name is Steve, and that's a wrap. Bye, Z's.